Buenos días. Es el miércoles y son las 12. Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday and it's 12 o'clock, so it's time for our second Community Spanish of this week, broadcasting Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12. I hope you're having a good week so far. Also want to give a reminder of the other programming we have going on Facebook Live. In addition to Community Spanish, we also have Community French Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 8:30, Community Mandarin Mondays and Thursdays at 12:30, and also for children's programming, we have Children's French Monday through Wednesday nights at 8. For bedtime story in French, and then for children's Spanish, we have in Monday through Thursday mornings at 11:30, just before lunchtime. So there's a lot going on Facebook. In addition, we also have going on our Instagram Live for French and Portuguese, so we have more content there. And while you're on our Instagram, I wanted to mention that we have our kind of main Instagram for Rola, but we also have some specific Instagrams for different languages, for different vocabulary. So it's definitely a great free resource for you to subscribe to if you are looking to build your vocabulary in one of the languages we teach. So Spanish, French, Portuguese, Italian, Mandarin. We have essentially these vocabulary Instagram accounts that are exclusively dedicated to each language, and so you can just tune in, and every day there's a new word posted. So it's a great way to keep your language fresh and also to be learning new things constantly in a nice, easy, kind of digestible way. So I wanted to mention that resource. So in terms of upcoming classes, the first week of October classes is well underway. We still have a few more classes starting either next week or the week after, just a few. So if there are potentially some good options for you, feel free to check that out on our website for those schedules. But other than that, the November class schedules will be posted by the end of this week. So that information will be available shortly on our next round of classes. So without further ado, let's get into our topic for today, continuing on our review series that we started a few days ago. And so today we're going to be focusing on the verb ser. And while I did a video previously on both ser and estar, this one's going to focus just on ser. And of course, the purpose of this style of videos, we're just going to be doing practice exercises together. I've made videos in the past to introduce all these topics at length and explain them. So now what we're doing is going back to essentially review and reinforce the things that I've taught in previous classes. So this is going to be another review style where we're just going to practice together. And in this case, we're gonna do a couple of exercises together, and then I'm gonna post an additional exercise up on our website. So if you want to do even more, you can go to the Facebook Live page of our website, and you can find worksheets to go along with lots of the videos. And also that's where we have our video library. So if you want to see all the videos we've made for our different Facebook Live series, it's all there. So it's very easy, accessible way to look for exactly what you need and kind of admire the amount of content that we've made in these past few months as we've all been working from home. So let's get into our first exercise to practice with the verb ser. Y por favor, escribe tus respuestas en los comentarios abajo. So please write your answers in the comments below. So I'm going to be going through these exercises with you together, but please feel free to add your own answers to the comments on the video so I can see if you're doing a good job, if you need some more help. So feel free to participate in the comments. So let's get to it. So número uno, so we're translating from English to Spanish, and we have all the parts we need here on the page. So if we just kind of have to plug in the elements that we need. So the kind of guiding question for this exercise is ¿Cómo eres? Which we could translate it literally into English as how are you? But as I've made the distinction in previous videos, ¿Cómo eres is how are you in the sense of like, what are you like? How would you describe yourself? But ¿Cómo estás means how are you, as in how are you feeling? What's your kind of your state or your condition today? So when we say ¿Cómo eres, it does literally translate to how are you, but I want to make it clear the difference between ¿Cómo eres and ¿Cómo estás? So kind of a better translation of ¿Cómo eres is what are you like? So número uno, we want to say I am boring, okay? Hopefully you don't want to admit to that, but it may be true. So I am boring, okay? So I was looking for the first I am, which we can find in our box of options up top. So we have yo soy, and again, we're using ser here because we're talking about permanent characteristics. If you remember, so estar for things that are temporary, ser for things that are permanent. So yo soy is what we're going to use to say I am instead of yo estoy. Yo soy, and then for boring, we can have two different options depending on who we're describing. If we're describing a person who identifies as male, we use aburrido. If we're describing someone who identifies as female, it would be aburrida. Okay, so we can say yo soy aburrido or yo soy aburrida. Two different options. Okay, on to número dos. Número dos, you are serious. Okay, so before we were using I am, now we're using you are. So you are serious. You can see you are in our chart is tú eres. Okay, tú eres. So tú eres. And then for serious, it's the same thing as we had for aburrido and aburrida. And since we have two options, depending if it's masculine or feminine. So here we're going to say tú eres. And then for serious, we can say serio or seria. Okay, tú eres serio or tú eres seria, depending on the person who we are describing. Okay, so the serio, again, these are going to describe the person that we're describing, not the speaker. Okay, so tú eres serio or tú eres seria. Número tres, she is boring. She is boring. Now we need the word for she, which we see in our chart here is ella. So ella es for she is, ella es. And then we need the word for boring, which we learned from number one. Now in this case, because it's she, we already know that we don't have a choice between aburrido or aburrida because we know that it's she. So it has to be aburrida because we know that's the female form of this word. So this one, we only have one option because we have the word she to tell us what the right thing is. So ella es aburrida. Ella es aburrida. Okay, for número tres. Número cuatro. He is smart. He is smart. Again, this one because we have he, so we know the gender. So él es, and then we need the word for smart, which in this case is inteligente. So we have él es inteligente. Okay, muy bien. And this one for inteligente is easier for us because inteligente, it doesn't have a different form for masculine or feminine. It's going to be the same. So both of them will end with e. So él es inteligente or ella es inteligente. No change. Él es inteligente. Okay, número cinco. I'm going to scroll up the page a little bit so we can see the following questions. So now I am smart. I am smart. Okay. And back to yo soy. Yo soy, and again, as we just said for the last one, it's inteligente, right? We don't have to make a choice because there's no option of an o ending or an a ending. Just yo soy inteligente. Okay, excelente. Yo soy inteligente. Número seis. They are stupid. Not very nice, but for the purpose of practice, we're going to say it. So they are stupid. So ellos. Now, it's true that for here, the they is not specified if it's a group of either, as we know with ellos, we use for either a mixed group or an all-male group, and ellas we use for an all-female group. Now, we don't have any guidelines from this question, so I'm just going to go with ellos. So ellos son, right, because for they are, ellos son, and then for stupid, we have the word either estúpido or estúpida. In this case, if we're going with ellos, we know that this is masculine, so we should use the estúpido. And in addition, because we're talking about a plural, because it's they, more than one person, we also need to add s onto the end. So we're going to say, ellos son estúpidos. Okay? Ellos son estúpidos. So that's how we would say they are stupid. Again, not very nice. Please don't use it. But for the purpose of practicing Spanish, here we are. Ellos son estúpidos. Okay, número siete. He is tall. He is tall. Okay. So again, we're going to start with él for he. As we know, él goes with es for the conjugation of ser. And then we want the word for tall. So you can see from our chart, we have either alto, alta, altos, altas. So 4 different options depending on the gender and the number. In this case, because it's he, we know it's one person, so it's singular, and it's masculine because it's he. So él es alto. Él es alto. He is tall. Número 8. Now, she is tall. Ella es, and as I was saying before, we have to choose the right gender and the right number. So ella is singular and feminine. So we need ella es alta. Ella es alta for número 8. Okay, número 9. We are not stupid. Okay, so now we're going to negative. we are not stupid. Okay, so nosotros or nosotras, again, we don't have any more context from this question to know if we're speaking about an all-male group, a mixed group, or a female group. Just to make things simple, I'll go with the either male or mixed group with nosotros. So nosotros, and we can see from our chart, is nosotros somos. Okay, and then the word we need for the adjective, we first need to make it negative because we are not stupid. Nosotros no somos, and then we need stupid. And so just like we did with the previous one with estúpido, you have to choose the gender and the number. So with nosotros, it's obviously going to be plural because there's more than one person. You're speaking for a group. And because we're using nosotros, masculine, so we're going to say nosotros no somos estúpidos. Nosotros no somos estúpidos. Okay, we are not stupid. Nosotros no somos estúpidos. All right, and número 10, last one in this exercise. Número 10, you all, and if we're looking for the word in Spain, which as we've learned in the previous lesson is vosotros. Okay, it's very specific. Vosotros are intelligent, or you are smart. Okay, so we're going to start with vosotros. And again, we don't have any further information about this group. We could be using vosotras potentially, but just for the sake of a simple example, I'm going to go with vosotros. And we know with vosotros, the form of ser is sois. Vosotros sois. And then again, same thing as we had in the previous ones, we need to choose the right gender and number. So we're going to use here inteligentes. Right, because inteligente, we know we don't have any choice to make here in terms of gender because the both forms, masculine and feminine, end with a, which is Spanish e. But we do need to add a kind of fly through this one because now we're getting very used to these concepts. It's easier and easier to do. So this one we're talking about, instead of using adjectives, we're using different people for showing relationships because we also use ser to show relationships with people. Okay, to say like they are friends, we are siblings. Again, this is also treated as something that's permanent. So we use ser. Okay, so número uno, she is my friend. So again, we're going to start with she. So ella, and we know by now ella goes with the es is the form. Ella es, and then we need my friend. So this one we need a little bit more knowledge in this chart because we need to know how to say my in Spanish. So in this case, is going to be mi. Okay, and then we need friend. So we can see from the chart it's either amigo or amiga. And now because we can see here it's she, we have to choose the feminine form, which is amiga. So ella es mi amiga. She is my friend. Ella es mi amiga. Número dos, he is not my friend. So we're doing a negative. So as we know, we start with él for he. And then for doing the negative, as we know, we have to put no in front of the verb. So él no es, he is not. Él no es mi, and then friend. In this case, we're describing él, so we know we should use amigo with the masculine ending because it's él, it's he. Él no es mi amigo. He is not my friend. Él no es mi amigo. Okay, número tres. We are brothers. We are brothers. So, nosotros for we. And again, in this case, we actually do know that we should use nosotros because if it's brothers, we know that it's going to be a masculine group. So that way we know we should use nosotros instead of nosotras. Okay, so nosotros, and then we know the form of ser goes with nosotros is somos. Nosotros somos, and then we need brothers. Okay, brothers. As you can see from our chart here, we have hermanos for brothers. So nosotros somos hermanos. Nosotros somos hermanos. We are brothers. Okay, next we have they are fathers. They are fathers. And now note that in Spanish, the word for father and parent is actually the same. So we would say, and I just scrolled the box a little bit below right now, but the word for padre for father and padres can mean fathers or parents. So you need some more context to tell if just find the word padres if it is describing parents or fathers. Okay, so número cuatro, they are fathers. We have in English the specific way so we know that it's fathers, not parents. So ellos for they, ellos son, and then fathers plural, so ellos son padres. Ellos son padres. They are fathers. Okay, número cinco, he is your father. He is your father. So we're going to start with él, right, for he. Él es. And then now, before we were saying mi for my, and now we need the word for your in Spanish, which is tú. Okay, and again, if you need any review on that, feel free to check out the video I made on possessive adjectives to get a little summary and some practice with those words in case you're a little rusty or you need some help. So, él es tu, and then now we need in the singular father is going to be padre. Él es tu padre. He is your father. Él es tu padre. Now, número 6, she is your mother. Ella es tu, again, and now instead of padre, we're going to use madre, which we can see from our chart above. Ella es tu madre. Ella es tu madre. She is your mother. Número 7, just a few more to go. Número 7, they are friends. Okay, they, again, we don't have any more context from this one to know if it's ellos or ellas, but for the sake of simplicity, we'll go with ellos since that describes 2 out of 3 possibilities, either all male group or a mixed gender group. So ellos son, and then we need for friends, as we learned, and we can see the chart above, is either amigos or amigas. In this case, because we're using ellos masculine, we should use amigos. Okay, ellos son amigos. They are friends. Número 8, we are mothers. We are mothers. Okay, so this one again, mothers is got the feminine gender by definition. So we're going to say nosotras here, okay, instead of nosotros, because we know that mothers is describing an all-female group. Nosotras, and the form going with nosotros or nosotras is somos. Nosotras somos. And then we need the word for mothers. So we can see we have the word madre for mother, and to make it plural, we need to add that S. So, nosotras somos madres. Nosotras somos madres. We are mothers. All right, dos más, 2 more to go. Número 9, she is a sister. She is a sister. Okay, so ella for she, ella es, and then a sister. Okay, so we saw in the chart above that the word for sister is hermana. Okay, but we have to add a one other small element here that she is a sister. So we need to add in the word here una. So ella es una hermana. We would choose un for one thing that's masculine and una for one thing that's feminine. So ella es una hermana. She is a sister. Okay, and last one, número 10. We are sisters. So again, just like we had before in the other one, we are mothers, we know that this group by definition is all female. So we're going to use nosotras again. Nosotras somos, and then we have to use the plural of sisters, which you can see in the box above. So nosotras somos hermanas. Nosotras somos hermanas. Muy bien. So those are the 2 exercises we're going to do today. I hope you found these things helpful to review ser, and also we got to review a little bit as well of the gender rules and gender and number rules too, because we had to practice making singular, plural, feminine, masculine. So it's a helpful exercise to put all those elements together. And as I said, I will be posting an additional exercise in addition to the link to this video up on our website. So if you want to check out that worksheet, or if you want to check out the other videos, or even check out our class schedule while you're there, feel free to go to our website, which is rolalanguages.com or rolalang.com. I'll see you next on Friday at 12 for the last community Spanish of this week. Gracias y adios.